Hello and welcome to all. From a speeding Corvette to a 52-ton tank terrorizing the roads, here are the 10 craziest and most unusual police chases in the world. Let's get started. The Philadelphia police are used to wild and crazy chases and have a lot of experience in this field. Car thieves and other rodeo riders don't stand a chance against these uniformed driving aces. But when the vehicle being chased is a little heavier and more massive than a car, such as an ambulance, the chase is likely to be much more difficult, and the police will definitely need help. The suspect behind the wheel of the stolen ambulance is a 42-year-old man considered unstable and dangerous, who has been leading police on a dangerous chase through the city's busiest avenues and boulevards for nearly an hour. The strong and powerful ambulance plowed its way through the traffic, violently hitting the cars in front of it, while the police, completely overwhelmed, were unable to stop it. Fortunately, a tow truck driving along the road intervened in time to assist the police. The driver of the tow truck positioned himself in front of the ambulance in a reckless attempt to stop it, but instead of stopping, the suspect drove into the recovery vehicle and hit the heavy steel crane, causing it to lose one of its tires. This heroic intervention by the tow truck driver enabled the police to stop the ambulance and subdue the suspect. In Texas, the police don't mess around with crazy drivers, and the troopers of the Texas Highway Patrol are as effective at fighting crime as their iconic counterparts, the Texas Rangers. But sometimes the troopers are confronted with some rather unusual outlaws, like this 29-year-old mother who is addicted to wild rodeos and cars. The young woman, who goes by the name of Catalin Rodriguez, had fled in her Mercedes SUV while being stopped by the police. What followed was a high-speed chase on the Texas Turnpike, made all the more dangerous by the fact that Catalin's baby was in the car with her. A trooper had to pull out all the stops to try and stop the hysterical mother, and deployed a tire deflation device right in front of the SUV. With the loss of a tire, the car was still able to drive, but the steering and braking systems were completely out of order. The powerful Mercedes SUV ended up hitting a van head-on, as it was unable to brake to avoid it. However, instead of admitting defeat and turning herself into the police, the hysterical young woman preferred to get out of her wrecked car and attempt to continue her journey in a stolen vehicle. However, the troopers intervened in time this time, and the young fugitive was soon handcuffed. The poor baby was then safely returned to its guardians, and this irresponsible mother will spend a long time behind bars. Let's digress for a moment. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the notifications. Let's continue. When you hear about car chases, you immediately think of cars speeding down the highway, with lots of action and pileups. But sometimes, neither the speed nor the breathless action are there, and we then witness a chase that is, to say the least, soporific. As this unusual footage, recorded by a local news helicopter in Fort Worth, Texas, shows so well. The images show a small white sedan, driving at 2 km/h, followed by several police cars, which surprisingly are going as slowly as it is. The suspect is a young drug dealer who has probably been dabbling with his own merchandise, causing him to idle. And since the police don't know whether the criminal is armed or not, they follow him from a distance, matching his driving pace. After a seemingly endless amount of time, the effect of the narcotics must have worn off, because the suspect finally steps on the gas. But it's no use because in the meantime, the police have called for help and a SWAT van puts an end to this strange chase. When it comes to the craziest and most unusual car chases, no one can compete with the Los Angeles Police Department. Hollywood's birthplace has one of the highest rates of traffic violations and police chases, as if the reality of the city were the fiction of its film studios. But the gold medal for the most unusual is undoubtedly awarded to this surrealist chase, which looks more like a gangsta rap video or a GTA San Andreas stage. The jaded LA police were indeed totally stunned by the behavior of these two suspects at the wheel of a Mustang convertible on a rainy day. While speeding, the two young men nevertheless found an opportunity to chat with other drivers as if nothing had happened. And while they had several police patrols behind them, the suspects did not hesitate to do donuts on a crowded road. The Ford Mustang finished its race in a red light district of the City of Angels, where the two guys were given a warm welcome by the local residents. It must also be said that with the transmission of their road epic lives on television, they became stars of the screen, and many people wanted to take a selfie with them. It took the police more than 10 minutes to arrive on the scene and arrest the two young men. But with such little material damage and a large dose of the unusual, this chase will long remain in the annals of the LAPD. With its fleet of ultra-modern and robust cars, the police can cope with almost any situation on the road. But what if the vehicle you want to stop is a 12-ton armored vehicle, with a mentally unstable soldier at the controls? The answer in pictures, in this incredible sequence from Richmond, Virginia. It all started when Lieutenant Joshua Philip Yabut, under the influence of psychotropic drugs, stole an M557 armored personnel carrier from the Fort Pickett National Guard barracks. The lieutenant then decided to take his vehicle for a short drive downtown, while half of the city's police force was on his tail. The trooper took the officers on a 120 kilometers ride through the state's roads, before finally running out of fuel. Fortunately, there was virtually no property damage or injuries as a result of the frantic hunt, although Richmond police had an all-nighter they will not soon forget. The most dangerous chases are often those involving the heaviest and strongest vehicles. While it is easy for the police to stop a small sedan or compact city car, it is quite different for a 20-ton tipper truck, especially if the person behind the wheel is a disgruntled worker, under the influence of narcotics. The spectacular footage you see in this clip was recorded by a police helicopter in Norfolk, England. It shows the senseless moment when the suspect rams his armored truck into police cars, narrowly missing the chance to flatten them like pancakes. The poor police officers had the fright of their lives when they saw this gigantic steel monster coming towards them. Launched like a missile, the giant truck then tried to make its way through traffic, putting motorists in great danger. The police did try to neutralize the tires of the vehicle by deploying a stinger device, but given its weight and the size of the wheels, the attempt was unsuccessful. This perilous chase finally came to an end after more than 2 hours and more than 60 kilometers traveled between the towns of Norfolk and Suffolk. But it was no thanks to the police intervention, as the suspect had simply driven to his home and then quietly got out of the truck as if nothing had happened. Once on the ground, the British police were finally able to apprehend him, and fortunately, apart from 3 police cars that were completely crushed, there were no casualties during this incredible chase. Mobile homes are vehicles that combine the comfort of a house with the mobility of a road vehicle. But while caravans are ideal for family trips, they are certainly not made for wild chases. Judge for yourself by watching this footage from Southern California, USA. A young woman can be seen speeding down the road in the San Fernando Valley in a stolen motorhome. But as the maneuverability of this type of machine is very limited at high speed, the mobile home will hit trees and several other cars in its path. The caravan will soon be destroyed by running into obstacles, although its engine will still be able to keep it running. The driver finally drove too hard, causing the heavy vehicle to crash into a house and come to a complete stop. Imagine you are a rebellious American teenager, and you are bored at home. Would you then be like the 15-year-old boy who decided to steal a school bus and go on a motorway chase? The following video was filmed in Texas by a Fort Bend County police officer. The images show us this unusual hunt, which reminds us of the cult film, Speed. The chase began at around 9:45 p.m. that evening when motorists reported to the authorities a large school bus zigzagging dangerously in traffic. The young teenager was speeding down the road with his headlights off, putting his own life and the lives of other drivers at risk. Given the size of the school transport vehicle, it was not going to be an easy task for the Texas police. But that was not to know the effectiveness of the Texan troopers, who, thanks to an ingenious ploy, eventually swerved the bus off the road and crashed it into one of their powerful SUVs. The school bus of death was finally stopped without too much damage, and the rebellious teenager was immediately arrested. Let's just hope that a little time in the police station will make him stop wanting to do wild rodeos on the road forever. Many video games allow you to drive a tank through the middle of the city, but could you even do that in real life? Army veteran Sean Nelson did it in 1995, in one of the most incredible car chases in U.S. history. The 35-year-old soldier had stolen an M60 Patton tank from the California National Guard Armory and drove the 57-ton machine into the streets of San Diego. Residents and police spent the longest 23 minutes of their lives as an armored battlefield vehicle rampaged through their town. The powerful tank caused a lot of damage in its path, crushing cars and streetlights, and breaking drinking water pipes, leaving several neighborhoods without water or electricity. The tank eventually came to a halt as a result of its tracks getting stuck, allowing the police to neutralize its driver once and for all, thus removing any threat. Some cars are so powerful and fast that it becomes almost impossible to chase them. Indeed, conventional police cars will never be able to match the power of these racing cars. Just look at the incredible footage of this red Corvette speeding down the highway in Daytona Beach, Florida. The car was driving so fast that no police car could get within 100 meters of it. Even the police surveillance helicopters struggled to keep up with the Corvette. Thanks to this extreme speed and the maneuverability of his sports car, the suspect managed to escape, unlike all the chases we have seen in this video. And that's it for today. Which of these 10 chases impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments, and see you soon for more unusual discoveries.